Alrighty, hey y'all. My name is Ben. I'm a hillbilly. I'm a redneck. I'm a Buddhist, and I love everyone. Well, here's this little story I'm about to spin y'all a yarn about how I just spent $25 on a comic book, and I don't care about comics at all, and I ain't gonna read this book, but I bought it off principle. And let me tell you a story about how I even figured out there's some evil going on there, y'all. Let me tell you a story about how I even found out about this comic book and my journey to acquiring this thing. So, whatever, a year and a half ago, like I said, I moved up to the hills here from the big city. I was living in a big city. And anyway, I don't know many people up here, but I ran into this feller. And, you know, two fellas get talking, and, of course, you started talking, and, of course, the conversation ended up Star Wars. Which is, you know, that's how people are, I reckon. He's about my age, I reckon. Anyway, he tells me he got a copy of the original movie. And I ain't talking about the episode 4. Where's my... There we go. It ain't episode 4, the New Hope, because it wasn't called that. It was straight up Star Wars. Before the scroll, it just says... Dun, 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 dun. Ain't no episode 4, doesn't say New Hope, nothing. It's just the first movie was called Star Wars. Like when I saw it, the copy he had is the original. Like the one I saw when I was 9 years old or something, whatever I was in 77. Yeah, I was 9. No, 10. I don't know. I was 9. I reckon I was 10. No, I was 9. What am I thinking? Anyway, so it's the original, like no CGI, no George Lucas screwing everything up, nothing like that. It's straight up the original. So I'm like, holy moly. So I went over to his place and we watched it. It was glorious. I mean, it was just I forgot how much I love Star Wars. So he let me borrow a copy of Empire Strikes Back. That was on DVD. It was like I think it was 97, the remake there with some CGI crap. It wasn't bad. I still want to find a copy of that original with them. So anyway, it put me on a little Star Wars kick. You know, because I got the prequels and, you know, I got the prequels on DVD and they suck. But them first 3, especially the first 2, Jedi, Return of the Jedi, you know, the Ewok stuff, it's okay. It ain't my favorite. But it's still pretty good. It's a pretty good movie, you know. You know, with the whole Leia rescuing Han thing. That's pretty tight. So anyway, I ended up getting on the Star Wars kick. And I ain't seen none of the Disney films. So I went on YouTube just to check out so I could see some scenes or whatever from this Return of the Force or something like that. Or something. I think it was Return of the Force or the Force Returns. That's it. The Force Returns. So I was on YouTube there, and my time on YouTube, I ran into a rabbit. And this rabbit, he apparently had been digging a hole. And he showed me this hole, and I went down that hole with him. And them rabbit holes on YouTube run deep. Deep. So I'm looking up, The Force Returns. The next thing I know, I'm on watching videos on the Last Jedi. Let me tell you something. Apparently, at least on this side of YouTube I was on, people hate that friggin' movie. Like something fierce. Like I ain't never seen something that fierce. People just hate that movie. Okay, and this is whatever. I don't know nothing about it. This is just, you know, I'm pretty much a hermit in the hills, so, you know, I ain't into pop culture, Lady Gaga, nothing like that, but, I don't even know if she's popular no more, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. Justin Bieber or something. I don't know. Anyway, apparently people hate that Last Jedi movie. Okay, and here's what everybody was saying. And Disney apparently don't care. And everybody hated the movie. But, and apparently Disney's response is, only people hated are angry white men. Old angry white men or something like that. Here's the thing, man. I saw that. I watched a lot of these. I'm telling you, I was deep in the rabbit hole. I was ankle deep in rabbit turds, but, oh man. But apparently, I swear, I saw, if you want to see any demographic, it's like a Benetton ad from the 90s, every race, every sexual orientation, every nationality, every sex, what am I missing something? you can find a person that hate that movie on YouTube. People just hate it. I'm sure the people who love it, of course, they're called shills according to these folks, but so it was funny. So apparently, I'm getting to the comic book. Chill out. So I'm there doing the Star Wars thing, and there's a crossover of people who don't like The Last Jedi, and somehow there's a crossover. You started seeing this Jawbreakers. There's like a Venn diagram little thing in there, a little crossover Venn diagram thing. People who were talking about Jawbreakers. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about, so I had to do some research on that. Okay, so now we're getting into the comic book. Because apparently, according to these folks, SJWs had ruined the Star Wars, and they're ruining the comic book, especially Marvel. And now this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not responsible for anything I say. So, okay. It's Jawbreaker stuff's going on. I had to do some research on that. Whatever. On YouTube, it'll watch a video. Next thing it'll come up, it'll say like, suggested videos, Jawbreakers. Something. So let me tell you about Jawbreakers. Okay, so I started looking into this Jawbreakers thing. Let me go back. So I'm like, Jawbreakers is going on, and it's whatever. And then, out of nowhere, it's like this big news or something on YouTube there that Jawbreakers got picked up by this Antarctic press. So they're going to be putting, he was a public. Oh, the Jawbreakers is on Indiegogo. It's like this thing where they try to, you give them money. You say, man, I got this idea. If you want it, you can give me some money and I'll make it. And there are people like, yeah, well, either it work or it don't. And apparently it's worked because a lot of people wanted it, right? So it's on the Indiegogo. And he's doing good on that. And then his Antarctic Press come along and say, we're going to put it in a comic, we'll publish it for you. And then, after that, apparently, the manure hit the friggin' turbo engine. A jet turbine. It wasn't shit hitting the fan. It was it was a manure truck hitting a jet turbine is what happened. So these crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put a description box's article from Medium.com because that it's crazy. These people are insane. You talk about people who are full of hate, threatening violence, threatening to beat people like me with a baseball bat in the teeth. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I mean, they're violent, they're ignorant, angry, and greedy. They're the three fires that you need to extinguish. These people are burning them bright. So these people, they're professionals in this industry. There's first and foremost, a group of comic book store owners, and they ain't doing good, y'all. I don't know when last time you was in a comic book store. I can tell you the last time I was in a comic book store was 1981. So, I mean, I heard 50 stores closed last year, which ain't much, but, 50 out of, there can't be a couple hundred. I don't know how many there are, but there ain't many. Only one, I know there's one down there in Charlotte, because I used to live in Charlotte. I reckon it's still open, but I don't know. I used to live in Charlotte years ago. Well, back in the 90s. And, so, there's a group of store owners there say they're not going to carry the book. And this is the total conspiracy. Literally, a group of two or more meeting in private to do something devious or illegal. It's a conspiracy. They were conspiring, not a conspiracy theory. It's just a conspiracy fact. They were conspiring to keep this book out of their stores. Like a cartel. And then this old dude from Marvel, I ain't going to say his name because I forgot it. But he come in and apparently he got a crew or himself. Anyway, he comes in and talks to Antarctic Press and tells them not even to carry it. He's like, if you even print this thing, there's going to be severe repercussions and whatnot. So Antarctic Press pulls out, which is kind of illegal, I think. as far as like, you can't do that. You can't, I don't know. But this Medium article I'm going to put in there, you'll see how vile these people are and how violent they are. You know, and they think they're right. They think violence is the answer to everything. And no, violence ain't the answer to anything, man. You only use violence to repel an attack, and that's the only time violence is called for. They're straight up saying just beating people in the back, wishing people dead, you know, and having fantasies about violence and whatnot. It's crazy. I'm serious. You will like, there ain't nothing nice about these people. You know, they're just mean people. And apparently this dude who's printing this, the Jawbreakers writer, his name is Zach. And Zach, you know, Zach ain't perfect, I'll tell you that. Apparently he's got some problems, or he's ruffled some feathers. But regardless of, you know, well, they call him a Nazi, but that's like, I don't know what man, everybody's a Nazi nowadays, I reckon. If you disagree with one thing some of these people say, you're a Nazi, you know. Yeah, I ain't never been called a Nazi, but I might after this. I ain't a Nazi though. I love everybody, so I don't know what you want to call that. But you know, his old boy Zach, his hands ain't clean per se, but he really ain't throwing no stones. He's like, I just want to publish my book, and they're like basically colluded. I know that's a worn out word too. These folks colluded to keep him out of the industry, from not even printing a book. They're trying to stop that. And the book ain't no big deal from what I heard. Anyway, so, you know, I'm a big fan of entrepreneurs. And old boy's a military veteran. I ain't got nothing to do with it because I know veterans that are cool. I know some are assholes. So, but, you know, take that what you will. But it's just despicable. Read that Medium article, and you'll find these people are vile, vile creatures. And they need to, I don't know, find Christ, find Buddha, find themselves, I don't know, go sit by a creek and listen to the birds chirp or something, because they done lost their minds. But anyway, so I'm going to put a link to Indiegogo down there, and, you know, it's $25. Hell, he's probably going to end up with about $500,000 before this is all said and done. There's a lot of people up in an uproar. It's called comicgate. Everything got to be a gate. I wonder what, you know, sometimes I wonder if Watergate didn't happen, what they would call things. But, because I remember Watergate because I was young and just remember my mom and daddy talking about it. But, I don't know. So check it out. It's comic books, Jawbreakers, $25. You know, you support this dude who's, you know, just an entrepreneur. And it's just wrong, man. And I'd just like to say, y'all, stop thinking violence is going to solve anything, and just let people live their own lives, man. But anyway, that's about it. My name's Ben. I'm a redneck. I'm a Buddhist. I'm a hillbilly. I love you. Peace.